Let's get him on the line. We are joined by Michigander, also known as Jason Singer. How's it going, man?
Going terrific.
As we do with pretty much all of our artists, we just had a nice conversation and we ended up having to cut it short because we realized we were just missing out on some content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This happens anytime we talk to people because we get so excited and we're like, tell them all this stuff and they tell us all this stuff and we're like, chill out.
It's one of my biggest problems. I did an interview with Apple and they literally just like FaceTimed in and without any like formalities, just that was the interview and it was see you later and that was it.
Did you at least know like that it was on at the point?
No idea. But that made it really cool because it was just like that's how it goes. And Pete Holmes' podcast, he does that. He just starts recording the minute the person walks in the room and it's very funny.
Speaking of Apple Music, congrats on the cover of Alt Central.
Thank you.
That's insane.
Yeah, pretty cool. That's all. That was one of my bucket lists for the next 2 years. I got it pretty quickly. So
yeah, cool. Especially right when the EP dropped. Like that's perfect.
Yeah. Perfect timing.
That is. It couldn't get better than that.
It was all planned. I wish it was planned, but it just kind of happens.
Wait, really? See, now that's something that I think is really interesting for our listeners. We get to like go kind of in depth in terms of like marketing and just the way things happen. A lot of the time, these playlists and playlist covers really aren't, planned. And a lot of the time, sometimes it's actually illegal to like petition to get your song like up top or something. So that just happened naturally. You just were selected as the cover.
Yeah, I mean, we hit them up and we go, hey, we got an EP. Can you want to do an interview or something? And so I think there's like a natural progression to it, but we can't say, hey, we were releasing an EP, we want to be on the cover.
Yeah.
You can't call Rolling Stone and say you want to be on the cover unless you're like Bono.
Right?
Yeah, well, you'll be the cover of Music You're Missing when this drops. So
that's not cool. I love that. I love covers. That's my favorite. I get so excited.
So before we started the call, I just thought it was a fun little tidbit about water bottles. We had this recent revelation, and what does your dad like to call them?
My dad calls an exclusive. Me and my brothers, who are younger than me, and their wives all have water bottles, and we carry them around. And my dad goes, he says, "That's millennial sauce." All the millennials drink a lot of water. We love our water bottles.
That is true. Emotional support water bottles.
It's weirdly true, and you know what? Like. It really, ever since I got this, 40 ounces, I've been like drinking like 3 a day. I've just been super hydrated. And for some reason, like this doesn't bother me. Put it on my thumb. If I'm on a hike, you know what? I can put it on my middle finger. It doesn't even bother me.
That would drive me crazy. That one is a little.
It is a little. Like, honestly, my middle finger muscles are like. But Michigander, obviously, we know you were born and raised in Midland, Michigan, correct?
Well, born in Grand Rapids, but raised in Saginaw, Midland area. Yeah.
So, what led to the name Michigander?
I wanted to be a band more than just hey, I'm Jason Singer, because I think those names of artists, when they name them, unless you have a cool name, it stands out a lot more. And so I was in New York when I was years before I was even really doing music. I was like, what would my band name be? And my best friend Adam was like, hey, what about Michigander? And I said, that's kind of cool. I don't think anybody has been called Michigander before, and it is unique to me. And then automatically, if you're from Michigan, you have to like my band. It's part of like the deal. So yeah, that's kind of it. And I think one of the main reasons I switched to it was we were playing a house show near Michigan State, and somebody came up to my friends and was like, or my guitarist was like, what band do you play for? And he said, Jason Singer. I said, that sucks. That's not a band. I want to have a band. So I called it Michigander. We call it, internally, we call it Gander. Everything is Gander when we talk about it. Gander songs, Gander sessions, all that. Gander blend was the coffee. So just Gander.
How long have you been with the rest of the band?
Yeah, so the guy, it's basically a solo project, but there's been a lot of different folks that have been involved. My drummer Aaron, we played drums. He's played drums since he was like in 8th grade with me, and we just kind of been friends. So I mean, there's a lot of like people that are important to the success of what I've been doing, but it is a solo project. But at the same time, I can't really do what I do on the level I get to do it without the guys, especially the guys who are with me now, Jake and Aaron and Connor. Yeah, they're great. I love them.
Do they kind of all have input into like the creative process, or are they more for like the live performance aspect?
It depends on the song. So, like me and Jake write a lot together. So Jake, a little more than some, and then Aaron is like a very unique drummer, and so he adds a lot of things into it that he comes up with, and so he adds stuff too. And then Connor just played. We just started recording for like the next thing, and Connor started playing bass on some of that stuff. So, I mean, I kind of fully fledge out the songs, and then they kind of add stuff, and then my producer Jake also kind of adds stuff. But yeah.
Nice. Seems like a well-oiled machine.
It's a pretty good machine, oiled at times. I just realized that it's my speaking of oil, it's my Trader Joe's olive oil. I bought at a Trader Joe's on my way home from Nashville yesterday just because I needed some, and I just realized it's in my room. So shout out to Trader Joe's.
Trader Joe's sponsor.
I wish.
Oh, I thought you were serious. I got really excited.
Oh man.
I wish.
Cool. What's so funny? Speaking of Trader Joe's, my mom for like Easter, because she still gives us Easter baskets, she put in a $25 gift card to Trader Joe's, and that shit has lasted me for like 3 weeks. Like, yeah. I'm just like, and I have not gone a formal grocery shopping. I just like do like one and dones there. Awesome.
Right. Yeah. Totally. I love it there.
Oh, Joe, if you're listening, you know what's up. I think it's funny you just alluded to working on new music, because your brand new EP, Everything Will Be Okay Eventually, literally like just dropped in March.
Yeah.
Do you ever really get a break?
Usually, so this EP's been done for a while. Like I mean, I got to work on it for like a whole year extra. Normally I just have a few months to like kind of get it ready and put it out. And I mean, that's really doable. But now, I mean, we were going to put it out last summer, and we decided to wait till March, obviously, like last couple weeks ago. And so like, instead of me just like sitting around and doing whatever, I worked on those songs. Then I was like, okay, I can get a head start on whether it be a full length or another EP or just a single or whatever. So I got like 6 songs that I'm like pretty close to being finished with already. And I've never had the luxury of having something done that quickly after a release. So it's so exciting to have it. And it's like quality too, which is always the scariest thing, because I never really know if it's good until I get to the studio and it's like being really recorded, and I already feel good about the tunes I'm demoing, which is nice.
Yeah, I think I either read or heard a quote from you in one of your interviews that you said like you're really grateful for this amount of time because you were really able to fine tune things that you really hadn't been able to do before. Is there something specifically that you took away from that extra time that you now will incorporate into all of your production going forward?
Yeah, I used a lot of samples that I'd never done before, and I used a lot of like weird instruments from Logic and such, like, and stuff like that. Jack Antonoff released this big sample pack thing, and he said use this on whatever, and we used it on whatever. So there's a lot of Jack Antonoff on the album.
That is so cool. Is he one of like your inspirations?
I've always kind of liked his Bleachers stuff and his music, and I think he's probably a very nice human being. But I mean, I don't think he's one of my biggest influences at all. I think he's a great writer, and I think he does very well with everything he does. But maybe he is. You know what? As I'm talking about it, maybe he is a little bit.
He is knocking out insane music right now.
Oh, for
like,
sure.
Yeah, it's kind of
like everything he's been doing has just been in like.
Yeah,
he's been excelling.
I was definitely like I don't even know what you call it. Like I was like a My Chemical Romance, Panic at the Disco, and Fun when they eventually came out. I was into them, and I like knew Jack Antonoff from that because I believe he was the drummer. And then I saw him onto Bleachers, and then he started working with Taylor Swift, and I was like, what? Like it was just like the first person I followed that wasn't necessarily a singer. Like he was an actual like.
Yeah, right. I think he's brilliant. And he made it on my record. Lucky for him.
I know. One day he'll be like, Michigander, you know them? I was on his record.
Well, I hope I get to meet him someday and tell him that you're on a bunch of my music. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Manifest it into the world.
Please don't ask for a check, but you are on my song.
Maybe I shouldn't tell him.
So was that track that you were referencing, was that Better, which is the #1 most added track to adult alternative radio?
Life might be good, but I wish that it would be better. Just wanna be better. Wanna be better.
It was not Better. It was Let Down, and every other song except Better, I think, actually has Jack samples on it. Actually, it might just be Let Down and like Together and Okay, but Better was all original. Just me and the guys were rock and rolling, making tunes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's just us. But yeah, that is the most added song, I guess, is what I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool. And I always listen to like my local college station at Central Michigan University, and always loved their music that they would play there. And now to be on the radio all over the country is pretty wild. And I mean, it was streaming too. Like I never knew never experienced what that would be eventually. So having songs on radio is cool. It's cool to turn it on when you're in like a city that plays it and just listen for it. And then it comes on. You're like, oh, that's cool. That feels really nice.
That's me. That is me.
I saw on your Twitter you were in like your hometown or a Kroger that you frequent, and you were playing.
Yeah, that was cool too. Because everyone tells me, they're like, I heard Let Down at Kroger, I heard at Trader Joe's, I heard it at Walmart or whatever, all these different places. And I mean, I really don't know how that's happening. I don't know if anyone does. Well, I'm sure someone knows, but I don't know. And I'm always like, I want to hear it. And so I went into Kroger visiting my parents with my girlfriend, and she like came around the corner. She's like, listen. I was like, what? And I was like halfway through the song. I didn't even notice. So there's a good chance it hasn't played many times while I've been in the store. But that was very cool. You know, it's from my hometown, Midland, and I used to shop there, and I used to like busk like a mile from there, and I used to go to school not far from there, and everyone told me to go to college and get a real job. And then now it's in Kroger.
That's a real like fuck you to anyone who ever told you to go to college. Because
yeah, I mean, a lot of those people are probably working at that Kroger, maybe, and they, I don't know, that was
There
me.
you go.
But it was cool. It was very surreal to be like, whoa, I was like filming myself with my broccoli. And, yeah, everyone like was looking at me funny.
Did you tell the clerk? Please tell me.
No, I would have, but I'm kind of a self-checkout guy.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. I'm the same way.
I don't know anybody. Are you both are self-checkout folks?
Yeah.
I get stressed out
Who goes through the normal checkout now?
No one. And you know, I always have like this dialogue in my own head where I'm like, Brendan, you should really go through the checkout. Like because there's no line. You're just being rude at this point. But I'm like, I can't do it.
Except at Trader Joe's. They have the wonderful people in the colorful shirts.
I'm gonna send like a supercut to Trader Joe's of this interview.
Yeah, please do.
Right before COVID started, I always feel weird. Like it's not like a game. It didn't start, but like once it, before it was rapidly spreading, you opened for Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, it was the last gig we played.
Unreal. What was that like? How did that even happen?
The romantic story is I tweeted at him, and the less romantic story is I tweeted at him. And then I was like, man, I wish that would happen. How do I make that happen? And then I realized I had a friend who works on the campaign, running the event side of things. And I said, I should email him. So I emailed him and I said, well, what about this? And he said, that sounds awesome. Here we go. So yeah, I mean, then they just kind of, it was not that hard. I was just like, we're a band. We're pretty good. Can we open? And there was like 10,000 people there. And, it was the last thing we did, which is crazy to look back on that because I don't know. It seems like many years ago when we were on that cold Grand Rapids morning in a big plaza playing music. And it's cool. I saw my little lanyard over here behind the screen that I look at sometimes and go, wow, it's cool.
That's a way to go out with a bang, though. Like to have that as your last show before COVID, that is crazy.
It was cool. I'm glad it wasn't a crappy show. I'm glad it was a good one. So can't complain there.
Did you get to meet Bernie?
Very, 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 very briefly.
Mm-hmm.
It was literally like a thanks guys. Pose for the picture. Bye. I shake all our hands. Thank you. Walk. And then I asked him for gas money, and he said, "No,
only if you elect me."
No.
Oh,
That is
I
hilarious.
love that.
Well, so you're kind of like, not actually, but kind of a little bit. You're kind of back performing live.
Very little kind of bit. Yeah.
I feel like that's as best as you're going to get for the time being.
Yeah, probably for a few more months. We have a show on the 7th, May 7th, here in Detroit with Mount Joy. Got like a little private thing next week. But besides that, I don't think we're looking at anything till May. I mean, at the very earliest, end of July.
Mhm.
That's the very earliest. But until then, we're excited. Me and the guys are almost all vaccinated. I'm fully vaxxed.
Nice.
Congrats. That's so exciting.
Thank you. So that's cool. I'm just hoping it's sooner than later. I'm sure by the fall. I'm sure by the August or the fall we'll be in a good spot.
You have had experience still performing, but like without a crowd, like for your live stream.
Yeah.
What's your mindset compared to like when you're on stage and no one's in front of you versus when you're on stage and there's a shit ton of people in front of you?
So we've done 2 full band, like good production live streams over the whole thing, and then probably like 100 of these weird Zoom, Instagram live things, and I am so sick of it.
Yeah.
It's such a weird feeling, I feel like.
I think everybody is sick of it. I mean, it's like I enjoy like being able to talk to you guys over this because this is kind of cool and this makes sense because we're talking back and forth, but like I'm so sick of sitting in my room. Like I'm gonna be done with this and I'm gonna shut the computer and it's gonna be dead silent. I'm like, oh man, this sucks. I wish I was there wherever y'all are.
Yeah.
Boston or I don't know.
Boston.
Yeah. I wish I was there because then I could make some funny jokes and make you guys laugh and tell you about Trader Joe's more. Yeah, I am so sick of live streams. Like the shows are fun when they're like the guys are there because we just get to play and they're like, yeah, this is awesome. And then you forget and you turn around and you go, oh yeah, this sucks. There's nobody here. I'm glad we got to play music, but I'm glad with my friends at least, but I'm very much over it. I'm glad we're staying safe and everything. Don't get me wrong, but I'm very much over the play to the camera thing.
For sure. I mean, a huge part of the live performance is like that high that it gives you. And that shit doesn't stop as soon as you play your last note. There's very much so a culture and what you do after the show, whether that, be like go party or just like hang out with your fans or friends. Like you're
right to the hotel to sleep.
Yeah, that too. But you know what? It's probably going to be the best damn sleep of your life because that shit will put you to sleep. But I feel like, when you're doing it in front of a camera, it's just kind of like, all right, back to regular programming as scheduled.
Yeah, I'm done with the camera in my bedroom thing.
Yeah, it's also like, you know what? Too many people have seen what my bedroom looks like this year. No one else has known what it looks like.
I moved. So originally there was the first half of these things are just very differently, but now it's a little bit more open. There's a dog that barks next door. I don't know if you guys have heard it, but it's very loud and it's been quite a struggle to record anything.
No.
So that's fine with me though. Because maybe no one will want me to do anymore. But it is weird to have everybody in my room. Like that's where I sleep over there somewhere. Yeah, I have to make my bed when I do these. I don't normally make my bed.
That is true. It's the little things you don't think about.
100%.
I have like a million blankets and pillows, and when I do this, I literally just throw some on the floor over here because I don't want to try to make all that stuff look nice. So I simplify it.
We should honestly start a segment like, are you wearing pants? Yes or no?
I'm wearing sweats, but I usually wear sweats.
Yeah.
Are you wearing a Carhartt shirt though?
Hey.
And no, I didn't wear my Carhartt socks today, but I do wear a lot of Carhartt.
They also need to sponsor you.
Maybe one day.
Carhartt, Trader Joe's. We're going to add something else to the list by the end of it.
Endorse me, please.
So bring it back to the EP. Fortnite picked up Letdown on their radio.
I got high hopes. I got high hopes, but they let me down. They usually let me down.
Yeah, that's cool. That was cool. Another cool thing. My managers actually forgot to tell me. They were like, "Hey, they're like, can you start practicing Fortnite because we might do a thing with them?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And they're like, "Your song's in the game." I was like, "It is?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" I was like, "They're like, no one told you?" I was like, "Must have just slipped through." And so then I was like, "Guys, we gotta play Fortnite." And so my gamer buds, which is a light term gamer for me.
Mhm.
We started playing Fortnite to listen to it, and we found it, which was pretty rad. It's on the Rock and Royale station. If anyone is a big Fortnite player, you should get in a car and turn on the radio.
Honestly, that is so cool. And the kind of like intertwining of the gaming industry and the music industry is something I've never was a gamer, but it's just so fascinating. The amount of parallels that they have and are continuing to have. It's wild.
It's cool. I hope I get a song in GTA though. That's my goal.
That would be fucking awesome.
When I'm jumping my car into the military base to steal a jet, I can hear Let Down, or better even.
I was just gonna ask, like, what song do you think would be the perfect fit for like GTA
better?
5?
Definitely better. Let's put it in everything.
So that's just another. So hey, Rockstar Games. So right now we're at Trader Joe's, Rockstar Games, and Carhartt. So if you're listening,
Sick Carhartt funny.
Yeah, he did say it. He did say it really funny.
Did I? Wait, how do you say it?
Carhartt.
Carhartt? Oh yeah. Oh my god.
You were like Carhartt?
I do that. So I make fun of my mom too. Wow, my mom's getting 2 shout outs in this podcast. She says a lot of things wrong, and she says Chinese food, like Chinese food. And every time she says that, I'm like, Chinese food, Mom.
Wait, how do you guys say Michigander?
Michigander.
Michigander?
Someone says Michigander or something weird. Michigander.
Oh, I think I said it like that in the beginning.
Probably.
Michigander.
No, they say Michigander.
Michigander.
I can see that one.
I was like, how do you say it like that? Michigander. Maybe I don't know. Who knows?
You know, it's really not that hard to go to YouTube, find an artist interview, double check the way that an artist says it, because that's my biggest fear, is calling an artist the wrong name.
Oh my god,
I should make a video that just says how to pronounce Michigander, and it'll just be me saying Michigander, and that's it.
Honestly, that'd be kind of funny.
That should be your next TikTok.
Okay,
it would blow up for like.
I suck at TikTok.
I think something that I've learned from you is you seem to just really kind of be focused on the music and maybe less impressed with like the whole like social media world. And I think we can kind of all relate to that. So I'm just wondering, like, what advice would you give to an artist who might be getting like lost in the sauce of social media?
I feel like a lot of people lost in the sauce. I like that phrase. I feel like a lot of bands like to do more photo shoots and they like to put out music. And that bothers me. So I would just say do less photo shoots and care more about the music and the songs, and write songs for the song, serve the song, care about the music, and that will do you a lot better than. I mean, you have to be a little bit savvy with the social media side of things, but it's also really important to have like just good songs that are gonna stand up against other songs, because you can have amazing branding and amazing band name and amazing playlists and everything, but if the song sucks, you don't really have much as a musician, at least.
And you know what?
That is so true.
It's crazy how sometimes people forget about that.
I truthfully forget about it, because like sometimes so much of my week is filled with doing like things I don't like, the things I don't always want to do, like playing a live stream thing or doing like a million interviews in like 1 week, and you're like, oh, and then like there's that, and then there's all these other things, and you're like, okay, and you gotta like plan out your post for the week, and you're like, whoa, and then like you're like, I didn't do anything with music today, which is what it's about to. So I'm just trying to be like, I do the music and my team can do the business.
Yeah.
The music business. And so, yeah, but I also love the music business. It's very fun.
I mean, for sure. I mean, but that's literally why these jobs have been made, though, is like the art is the thing you're selling at the end of the day. So it really is important that your artist has that time to focus on their work and why people actually like them.
Yeah, that's true.
And I feel like the fact that you just released an EP and then you already have new music coming, like obviously not released or anything, but wrapping up another project, that says a lot about you as an artist.
Truthfully, I wouldn't have had it done. I appreciate the compliment, but I wouldn't have had it done if I didn't have this much time. So hopefully I can keep this this pace up, though, where I have it done before I need to have it done. I can start the next one before the next one and all that. Totally.
So bucket list, we've got the Bernie Sanders show. We got the playlist cover. What else do we hope to cross off our bucket list maybe in the next year or so?
Can I grab my journal?
Absolutely.
Okay, 1 second.
Wow, this is like very
I
exclusive
know.
look into his journal.
I'm feeling
That's awesome.
really like I'm feeling very special.
All right, I'm back. If you didn't know, I just wrote this down. Like a few, because my managers are like, "What is your goals?" And I said, "A bunch of stuff." Okay, here we go. It's all written down in here.
Oh wow, that's a lot.
I'm ready.
Okay, my 2-year goal. Well, let's see what I got back here. I have 2-year goals. Is this okay? You
Yeah,
wanna just read it?
absolutely.
I would love to, in the next, by 2023, I would love to sell 800 tickets in major North American markets. I would also like to tour I feel like a little kid reading my
Oh, it's
homework.
it's so genuine though. I love it.
Release a debut full length on a major label.
Nice.
I would love to play late night TV, and I want to support an arena tour. I want to be interviewed by Nardwar. I'd love to play either the Hollywood Bowl or the Greek, and I want to play Coachella and Red Rocks. That's my 2 years.
I feel like those are all very realistic goals.
Those are attainable,
Nothing,
man.
Yeah, like nothing. I'm like.
I think that's coming for you very, very quickly.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. And then I have my 5-year goals. Do you want to hear those?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
go
Oh,
for
please.
it.
Okay, I want to be nominated for a Grammy in 5 years by 2026.
I
Heck
see
yeah.
it now.
I would love to headline some theaters. I'd love to do a shed support tour, like amphitheaters.
Mhm.
I would also want to play the sundown slot at Lollapalooza, and I would love to play Madison Square Garden, and I would love to know Justin Vernon and have a full touring crew. And those are my goals for the next little bit.
That is so awesome. That
Yeah.
That brings up a good question. When you think of like if you had endless resources for your tour, would you go to a theater at all times? Are you trying to play stadiums or like?
I mean, if I eventually, when I was in high school, I thought like, I'm not going to high school. I'm not going to college. I'm gonna write some songs and play arenas in a couple of years. Obviously, I'm not even close to that. I haven't even supported anybody in an arena yet. But I mean, I'd love to play arena. I think the music I make is for that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'll ever be able to do it, but it's for that definitely. So if that ever gets to happen in any shape or form, it'll be very special for me.
It's okay to be lonely. It's okay to be alone sometimes. It's okay to be lonely. It's okay to be alone, alone. It's okay to be lonely. It's okay to be alone sometimes.
I don't think I could ever have people pay for a meet and greet.
I've done VIP for
It's your thing, yeah.
a good amount of time, and the artist that I had, he had the same issue, and he just felt so terrible about it. And I was like, at the end of the day, you wouldn't be able to meet all these people at like it wouldn't work that way, and they are just so excited just to even say hi to you.
Yeah, maybe one day. I just prefer to just say hey to people.
Yeah.
If I can fill my gas tank with it, sure.
Definitely. And there's
that's
creative
why
ways.
they have it.
I've personally paid for 2, and they've both been like Q&As before.
Who are they?
Quinn 92 and Casey Musgraves.
Okay, cool.
I was in college, but I mean, they both like, in terms of Casey Musgraves, at the point as she was like blowing up. It was right before it was right after. It was like the day after she was nominated for a Grammy. So I wanted to like do the Q&A, and I just was really always like admired her like actual like artistry. So it was really cool to like hear some in-depth. I mean, I guess that's why I talk to artists, it was like that, except I didn't have to do any of the work. She just like kind of
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't think I could pay money to take a picture with someone, because again, having worked meet and greets, it goes like this: step, pick, all right, goodbye.
Yeah. That's kind of what it was with Bernie.
Yeah.
So there's a college here in Grand Rapids called Calvin
Yeah.
College, and they bring in amazing artists. I don't know how. They bring in like The National and Bon Iver and Sufjan and all these people, and Head and Heart and Julian Baker and Lucy Dacus and all these great, like really respected musicians, and they do this conversation after, and it's like you're gonna see your favorite band play a show, and then after the show, you're gonna like sit in the same auditorium, and they're just gonna sit and have a conversation. Like this one guy hosts this conversation like right after the show. And it's the coolest thing.
That's awesome.
And they've been doing it for years. And it's like with like the huge artists. And like it's not weird, and like no one's taking pictures and no one's asking like celebrity questions. They're just asking about art and stuff, and it's really, really special.
I mean, that's what I love about music media is like getting that behind the scenes that you wouldn't necessarily, and not like behind the scenes of like, well, what's your favorite breakfast food? Like more like, so why did this take like 6 months? Like, what were the logistics leading up? Like, it just stuff like that I think is so cool. And I feel like you're the exact type of artist that, you know, people want that from. So, you know, if you're ever going to go down one of those paths, I think that it could totally be in your cards.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much for calling in. We really appreciated it. This was
Of course. This was so fun. Genuinely. Yeah.
Yes, genuinely.
Well, thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
It
no
was
problem.
so nice meeting you
Thank
via
you too.
phone.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
'Cause life might be good, but I wish that